So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about, something that I didn't know before coming to college, majors. So when I say majors, of course people know what college majors are. I wish that I had researched more into my major and actually maybe have shadowed somebody before I decided which major I wanted to do. I wish I knew a little bit more about what it takes to be an electrical engineer, things like that. I would definitely recommend, if anybody's in college, thinking about going to college, I would definitely recommend looking more into the major, speaking to somebody that has a degree in that field of study. That would definitely be one of my recommendations. Also, speaking to professors that actually teach the major to get a feel of what the classes would be like if you were to enroll. Another thing that I guess you can put under that same category is major requirements. A lot of people don't know when they come to school, when they come to college, there's certain courses that you have to take. One thing I would definitely suggest is finding out what your major requirements are. Your major requirements are very essential in obtaining your degree. So, for instance, you could already have taken like certain classes in order to be at a higher level, but some people don't do that. Some people don't come to school knowing calculus, and they might have to start at a lower math course. So by knowing the course requirements, you'll have an idea of when you're going to be able to graduate. If you're not up to speed, if you're not at a certain level when you enter college, it might take you a longer time, because people, they automatically think you're going to definitely graduate in 4 years, and that's not always the case. I graduated in 6 years. It takes a while sometimes when you're not already like an expert in certain things, and that's okay. When you know your major requirements, you can also talk to your advisor. Like, definitely talk to your advisor, your academic advisor. Everybody gets one when they come to college. Speak to your academic advisor and actually find out what courses you should be taking, if you're on time for certain classes. And when I say on time, I mean, are you taking them in an order to get your degree by the date that you want to get your degree? So if you want to graduate in 4 years, you might have to either take more classes or what have you. So you just want to make sure that you understand the major requirements. What I would suggest is to go to your academic advisor, talk to your peers, talk to your professors. Make sure they give you a course outline. A course outline is going to help you so much. I wish I had asked for my course outline earlier, because the course outline tells you what classes you should be taking your freshman year, what classes you should be taking your sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. And sometimes if you're not following that, you'll end up being behind, or you'll think that you're supposed to be taking a class and find out that it doesn't count towards your degree, and that can really mess you up. And you do not want to waste your parents' money. You don't want to waste your own time. You don't want to waste your grants on. And the crazy thing about grants and scholarships is that once you finish 4 years, they drop you. They're like, oh, sorry, we can't finance you anymore because it's been past 4 years. I got that email and I was so shook because I didn't know anything about loans. I didn't know if I was going to be eligible for any loans. So you definitely want to make sure your course outline, your major requirements are up to speed, and you know you should be an expert when it comes to your course outline, if anything. Another thing that I wish I knew was summer classes. I wish I knew about summer classes. So the thing is with me is that growing up, I always thought summer school was for students that weren't doing well. I never took summer school throughout my matriculation. I never took summer classes. So I never thought to think about taking summer classes in college. It never crossed my mind. Finally, at one point, I found out that they do offer summer classes, and they also offer summer grants. This saved my life, you guys. Honestly, you definitely want to find out about your college's program, especially depending on your major. If you know for a fact that after you look at your course outline, a lot of times they'll say, oh, during this semester you should take a certain amount of credits. Like, for instance, as an engineer, there's like, I don't know how many semesters, but there's a few semesters where they say take 18 credits. Well, everybody can't take 18 credits. Everybody is not able to succeed while taking 18 credits. There are some people that can cram. All they do, college is life for them, and they're only worried about taking classes, so that's fine for them. But if you know that you're not going to be able to take 18 classes and do your best, don't do it to yourself. Even if you want to graduate on time, you'll end up messing up your whole semester. I tried to overdo credits at one time, and all of my classes were really difficult classes. Like one semester was all 4 credit classes or something like that, and it was ridiculous. I ended up not doing well. I thought by taking all these classes I'll end up graduating earlier, and I didn't end up graduating earlier. I just made myself waste a whole additional semester in school, and you don't want to do that because college is expensive and it's very stressful. You don't want to do that to yourself. If you want to think about taking summer classes, you should definitely talk to your advisor. You should talk to some of your professors because they might have some knowledge about that. And summer classes can honestly save your life. I know nobody wants to be in school during the summer, but if you think about the long-term benefits of it, you'll probably see that, yes, that would be very helpful. It could save your family money because, like I said, they do offer grants in some schools. I can't speak for every. I know my school definitely has a summer grant. It's a hit or miss. You have to apply for it. They don't always have funding because a lot of students have caught on to the fact that you can get a grant. So if you talk to them early, and hopefully even like if you know certain people in your department that can help you out, definitely reach out to them because you never know. If you don't ask questions, you'll never know. I would advise everybody to love your advisor. Love on your advisor, and no freaky stuff. Don't do that. It's not worth it. But no, seriously, love on your advisor. And when I say that, I mean when you meet your academic advisor, build a relationship with them. I didn't do that. I didn't like my first academic advisor, to be really honest with you. So I chose a different advisor. But I would say if you have a good relationship with your advisor, you will end up getting insider information. You can end up finding out about scholarships. They can also write you recommendation letters for certain things. It would be, having a relationship with your advisor is very crucial. I promise you. You definitely want them to know your name, know your face. You definitely want to stop by for office hours, get to know if you're definitely on track to graduate, if you're taking the right classes, what tutoring services are available, if you're having a difficulty in a certain subject. And don't be like afraid to tell people that you're struggling. The best thing to be in college is brutally honest with yourself, because college is where you find yourself. So if you're lying to yourself and saying, oh, I can do this, I can do that, and you know you're struggling, it's not going to help you. Yeah, definitely love on your advisor, get to know them, build a relationship, know their birthday, know if they have any kids, like build that rapport so that when you need something, you don't feel weird or awkward going to them for a suggestion, advice, whatever. Another thing I would recommend is joining an organization. Thing is, when you're a freshman in college, you go to college and you're so excited. You're so excited because there's so many things to do. It's so new. You're finally probably alone for the first time in your life. You don't have anybody influencing you, like your parents, guardians. So you get really excited. For me, I really wanted to be a part of so many organizations on campus when I first joined. There were like so many. I was like, ooh, I want to be a part of this. I ended up not being a part of any of those. And I won't say regret it because I don't really regret anything in life, but I wish that I had probably taken a part, because thing with organization, lots of employers love knowing that you're part of an organization. Organizations also teach you great leadership skills. They really do. Being a president of a certain society, those look great on resumes. Those build so much character, leadership skills. I would definitely recommend it. Also, with that, it comes with community service most of the time. And lots of employers love knowing that there's people that are willing to work. If they see that you enjoy working as a volunteer, if you're working for money, you're going to put your best foot forward because you're willing to work without being paid. What I would say is during your freshman year, definitely look for an organization. Also, make sure that you have enough time to do your classwork. Don't let your organization take over your classwork. But having an organization under your belt is so crucial, I promise. Not only is it great when it comes to employers, but it also gives you a base in college. The thing is, when you have an organization and you know you're responsible for something, it gives you a sense of responsibility. You're like, oh, okay, I have an organization. I need to do this and that for the organization. Like, I'm a face of this organization. I think it's really great for building responsibility in college, keeping you out of trouble. And also, like my school, we have elections, and a lot of people who are in organizations are normally the people that win, because people already know, oh, such and such is in this organization and I always see her doing things with her organization, so she must be a great candidate for this position. Or, oh yeah, I saw him, he's part of this organization and he's really cool, he's a people person, he helps people out. I would love to vote for him. So I would definitely recommend joining an organization because it will give you exposure, it builds leadership skills, and it's great when it comes to employers and resumes. Work hard to play hard. When I say that, I mean, of course, when you come to college, you're gonna want to party. That's understandable. Some people don't care about partying, but others are really excited about the fact that you get to go out. You don't have to have parents and ask, where are you going? Or what time are you gonna be back? You're basically leading your own life at this point. A lot of students fall behind, honestly, because they're not used to being able to be out till 3 a.m. and having to get up for 8 a.m. class. Like, that's new to them because they're used to having strict rules. You come to college thinking, oh, I can just hang out all weekend, and then you realize, I forgot to do a 10-page paper this weekend. It's due Monday morning. What am I going to do? And you do not want to fail anything in college. Once you fail one paper, that's like you've ruined a whole semester. Like, of course you can always come back from doing badly. You can always, you most likely, I won't say always, you can come back from not doing well, but you don't want to put all that stress on you because that makes college not fun. When you know that you're failing a class, that's the worst feeling in the world when you're in school. You don't want to feel like that. So just make sure, if you decide, yeah, you're gonna go out with your friends, if you want to party, if you want to do whatever, just make sure that you finished your work first. If you know that you can party on Friday night and get your paper done on Saturday, okay. If you know you have a party on Saturday and Friday's free, get your work done, or at least get it started before you just go out, because you never know what happens. You might end up sleeping over at somebody's house, you might end up doing whatever, even forgetting about it. Forgetting assignments killed me in college. Professors are people. They understand things happen. They know this is college. But at the same time, they want to hold you accountable. But if they know that you're one of those students, you always do your work, you're always on time, you're always like up to par, even if you're not doing the best in the class, if they see that you're trying hard enough, you will most likely pass the class because they see that you're doing well. Even if you're not getting A's every exam, even if you're not getting B's, if you're not getting C's, there's some professors that do curves. And you don't want to count on having a curve, but honestly, if you do the best and if they see that you're doing the best, you're not just like, you know what, whatever, I can get that done whenever. Projects where? If you don't have that attitude, they'll most likely be willing to help you, especially if you visit their office hours. Visiting their office hours is really important as well. Work hard to play hard. If you do your work, partying is so much more fun. You know, like those, I think it's like a Drake meme that goes around and they're saying, like when you're in a party and you realize that you haven't done your assignment, that's the worst feeling. I felt that before. I remember I went out one night, I was having a ball. And then one of my friends texted me and they were like, hey, so what time did you submit your paper? And I was like, submit my paper? And they were like, yeah, it was due at 11:59. And that's most deadlines in college. Like, I don't know if it's gonna change, but I know most of my assignments were due at 11:59. And they don't care. If it's 12 o'clock, it's late. And some people don't accept late work. Like, some people close things, like, in college, they'll say, oh, it's 11:59, and it'll be right there like, oh, it's due at 11:59. Either if it's a paper or if it's like a quiz or something. If it's due at 11:59, if you click submit at 12 o'clock, it's late. Or it could be locked. It'll say something like, this has been locked, or blah blah blah, this closed at 11:59 p.m. It's now 12 a.m. And speaking of parties, most college students party. Just be careful. Be very careful at parties. Not only be careful because you want to physically be okay, but also mentally. And when I say that, lots of people like to drink, smoke, whatever when they go to parties, but then later sometimes it backfires. There's so many people that have been videotaped, have their pictures captured doing things that they weren't supposed to be doing, and it's ruined their reputation for the next 4 years. You don't want to be videotaped having sex with somebody randomly at a party. You don't want to have your picture taking shots, or snorting something. Employers can find out. Organizations you want to be a part of can find out. Your school can find out, and they can actually like expel you. Do they call it expel you or suspend you or whatever in college? I think they still call it expel you. The social media world, it's going to end up on social media if you're not careful. No party is worth your peace of mind. No party is worth being embarrassed for the next 4 years because you know people know where they saw the picture. You just don't want that feeling. Trust me. I've heard so many stories about people, and I've seen so many things on campus, and honestly you just don't want that tension either. Like, you don't want to be tense all the time, or you're not going to want to finish school, especially at that school. You're just not going to want to be there. So I would say, and also just for your safety, you don't want to end up with STD. You don't want to end up being pregnant your first year or second or third, unless you know, whatever. But you just don't want those issues, and college is stressful enough without adding to it. So just make sure you're safe and you're smart when you go to college parties. If you go to parties, period, just be safe and be smart. Another thing is that I wish that I knew, make sure you have a campus friend. And when I say campus friend, I mean like an older adult that works for the school or is on the campus. You won't believe how many times older campus adult can keep you on track. They can look out for you. They can recommend certain things that they know about. You know, older people love to talk. They love to gossip. So you can always find out certain things, and I'm talking about the good things, like certain scholarships that are available, certain organizations you can join, certain employers that are looking for people, looking to hire some people. You definitely want to make friends with somebody that's older on campus, that has been there for a while, that knows the ropes, knows the game, knows the tricks of the trade. Their friends, their colleagues are your professors probably. They could be the deans of the schools that you're in. You want to have somebody that has you in mind, that has your best interest at heart, that will speak for you, that will write a recommendation letter for you. You want to have an older campus friend that will look out for you for sure, because I've seen it so many times. So many people that are just an inch away from having enough money to go back to school, and their campus friend hooks them up. They say, oh, you know what, I know so-and-so, I'm gonna get on the phone and we're gonna get it handled. I got you. And that's the best thing to have. And then also when you leave school, they can be your reference, and that's just a phone call. Employer says, hey, do you know so-and-so? Oh yeah, so-and-so did this, did that, they're a great person. Having a campus, oh my goodness, like, people love hearing that your professors liked you. And having somebody that's a professor on campus or that works for the school administration have your back, that's awesome for any employer. Another thing, working while being in school. I had to work 2 to 3 jobs throughout my whole matriculation, and to be really honest, that was one of the big reasons why, in my opinion, why I didn't graduate when I wanted to graduate, because I was always working. When you know that you have classes and you might have to wake up early, having a job that ends at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. is not the move. What I would say is I wouldn't recommend, if you don't have to work while being in school, I wouldn't recommend working. Like, I would definitely devote all that time to getting your education, staying on track, and having a social life. If you do have to work, I would definitely see if you can have a really flexible job. Don't risk your grades your health, your well-being over making money, and especially if it's just to buy the newest shoes, Fashion Nova. The other people that don't have the stuff that you're able to buy are getting good grades, they're having fun in college, and then after you guys graduate, you're over there like, dang, I missed out on a lot, and they're able to talk about memories with their kids and their friends and everything else. So you definitely want to take advantage of what's on campus while you're still there. Another thing, internships. Internships are very, very important. So before, I did not believe in internships. I was not interested. I was like, no, I'd rather just have a part-time job during the summer. I don't want to have it. I do not want to have an internship. No. Like, now that I've graduated, I realize I wish I did more internships so I could have an idea of what I'm working for, what I could do after. I could just have like options. You definitely want to do internships. Lots of those will help you write recommendation letters. That's great experience, because sometimes jobs will count your internship as a year experience. So that would be really good. Actually, right now I'm working at a place where if I hadn't done this internship that I did last summer, I wouldn't have had this job right now. So internships are a really big deal. Like, I promise you, you won't regret doing an internship. If anything, it's going to bless you, not hinder you. And last but not least, what I would definitely recommend, asking questions. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. Never not ask questions. If you want to know something, ask somebody. Ask your professors, ask your peers, ask your advisors, ask everybody. If you have a relationship with your dean, which I do recommend as well, ask your dean. Like they always say, no question is a dumb question. It's better to ask questions than to pretend like you know something when you really don't. And college relationships, I'm not even going to get into college relationships, but if you guys want me to make a video, I can talk about college relationships as well. But these are just the things that I wish I knew before I came to college. I just want to clarify. These are all my opinions. You can take them or leave them, but this is based on my experience in school. I hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Keep yourself safe, because that's number one. No degree is worth your life. And just be happy. Enjoy college. Don't let anybody stress you out. Don't let anything around you stop you from having the best college experience of your life, because you can only do undergraduate studies once. So make sure you have a great time.